The sun was just beginning to rise, casting a soft golden glow over the quiet streets of Crestwood. The town was still asleep, but one person was already wide awake, preparing for a day that would change everything. Her name was Valerie Harper, the CEO of Harper Motors, one of the most successful car dealership chains in the country. Valerie was not your typical CEO. She was sharp, determined, and had a heart that still remembered the struggles of her early days. But today, she wasn't stepping into her office in a sleek suit. Today, she was going undercover. Valerie had always believed in leading by example. She had built Harper Motors from the ground up, starting with a single small showroom and a dream. But lately, she had been hearing whispers of unhappy employees, poor customer service, and a growing disconnect between management and staff. Valerie couldn't ignore it. She needed to see for herself what was really happening in her own company. So she decided to go undercover as a new salesperson at one of her showrooms. She dyed her hair a darker shade, put on a simple outfit, and practiced speaking in a slightly different tone. She even chose a new name for herself, Lila. As she walked into the Crestwood showroom that morning, her heart was pounding. She didn't know what to expect, but she was ready for anything. Or so she thought. The showroom was sleek and modern, with shiny cars lined up under bright lights. Valerie, now Lila, was greeted by the manager, a man named Trent. He was in his late 30s, with a confident smile and a firm handshake. But there was something about his eyes, something that made Valerie uneasy. "Welcome to the team, Lila," Trent said, his voice smooth but lacking warmth. "We're all about results here. If you can sell, you'll fit right in. If not," he shrugged, leaving the sentence hanging. Valerie nodded, forcing a smile. She was here to observe, not to make waves. But as the day went on, she realized just how toxic the environment was. The sales team was ruthless, pushing customers into deals they didn't need and laughing about it behind their backs. Trent was the worst of them all. He belittled his team, mocked customers, and seemed to care about nothing but his own commission. Valerie's heart sank. This wasn't the company she had built. This wasn't the culture she had envisioned. But she kept her composure, quietly taking notes and biding her time. Then it happened. A young couple walked into the showroom, looking nervous but excited. They were clearly first-time buyers, and Valerie's heart went out to them. She approached them with a warm smile, ready to help. But before she could say a word, Trent swooped in. "Let me handle this," he said, his tone dismissive. He turned to the couple and immediately started pressuring them into a high-end model they clearly couldn't afford. When they hesitated, he rolled his eyes and muttered, "Some people just don't know a good deal when they see one." Valerie's blood boiled. She stepped forward, her voice calm but firm. "Maybe they'd like to see something within their budget," she said, looking Trent straight in the eye. Trent smirked. "Listen, Lila, you're new here. Stick to what you know, which, from what I can see, isn't much." The couple looked uncomfortable, and Valerie could see the hurt in their eyes. She took a deep breath, her mind racing. She couldn't reveal her identity. Not yet, but she couldn't let this slide either. "You're right," she said, her voice steady. "I am new, but I know one thing for sure. Treating people with respect is the foundation of any good business. And if you can't do that, then maybe you're in the wrong line of work." The showroom fell silent. Trent's face turned red, and for a moment it looked like he might explode. But before he could say anything, Valerie turned to the couple. "Let me show you something that might work better for you," she said, leading them away. As the day went on, Valerie continued to observe, her heart growing heavier with each passing hour. She saw how Trent bullied his team, how he manipulated customers, and how he seemed to take pleasure in making others feel small. But she also saw something else, glimmers of hope. A young salesperson named Mia, who treated every customer with kindness, even when Trent wasn't looking. A mechanic named Carlos, who went above and beyond to make sure every car was perfect, even though no one ever thanked him. By the end of the day, Valerie had seen enough. She called a meeting with the entire staff, still undercover as Lila. When everyone gathered, she stood in front of them, her heart pounding. "I want to thank you all for welcoming me today," she began, her voice trembling slightly. "But there's something you need to know. My name isn't Lila. It's Valerie Harper." The room erupted in gasps. Trent's face turned pale, and he took a step back as if he'd been struck. Valerie continued, her voice growing stronger. "I came here today because I wanted to see what was really happening in my company. And what I saw broke my heart. This isn't the Harper Motors I built. This isn't the culture I believe in. But I also saw something else. I saw people like Mia and Carlos who still care, who still believe in doing the right thing. And that gives me hope. She turned to Trent, her eyes blazing. As for you, you're fired. Effective immediately. Trent opened his mouth to protest, but no words came out. He simply turned and walked away, his head hanging low. Valerie took a deep breath and turned back to the team. Starting today, things are going to change. We're going to rebuild this company together. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the cars we sell. It's about the people we serve, both our customers and each other. The room erupted in applause. And for the first time that day, Valerie smiled. She knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy, but she was ready. She had seen the worst of her company, but she had also seen the best. And that was enough to keep her going. As she left the showroom that evening, the sun was setting, casting a warm orange glow over the town. Valerie took a deep breath, feeling a sense of peace she hadn't felt in a long time. She had faced the truth, no matter how painful it was, and she had come out stronger on the other side. And that, she realized, was the real power of leadership. Moral of the story: true leadership isn't about power or profit, it's about people. When you lead with integrity, compassion, and a willingness to face the truth, you can inspire change and build something truly remarkable.